Alright, howdy folks, welcome back. I'm back. Good to see you folks back too as well. Let me make an adjustment here. There we go. As you can see, Romania has been getting quite the assault there, huh? Okay, make a few other adjustments and we'll get this show started here. Welcome everybody. Sorry for the delay there. I have a lot of stuff for you tonight, so a lot of pre-show, a lot of stuff, okay? So hopefully you got your popcorn ready in that time and went to the bathroom and took care of all your stuff that you needed to do to get ready for this, because we're just gonna start knocking this out. Quite an image here, don't you think? Let me just adjust that real quick. And before we start this loop, 1, 2, 3. Can you see them? There's this one down below, one in the middle, one up high. Okay. And that is May 30th, 2023. Okay, so let me adjust this back to the right brightness there and go ahead and start this loop. Okay, so, yep, here we are, May 30th, 2023. We've had quite the eruption there. Okay, and I'll let you take a little peek at that for a minute while we get settled in and people get settled in the chat room and newcomers start arriving and a few adjustments here. I think we could go in just a tad bit closer on this. And I got a special treat for you guys tonight. And a good reading that I dug up for tonight's show, as well as a gem after tonight's report. So, boy, quite the event that went on here, And before we even start tackling this one, I got to go back a day because I missed yesterday. Sorry, I've been in just the most brutal assault. So 5.5 days of just straight torture. Alright, we got to let this load up too because this is a significant event as well. And that was yesterday, the 29th. Okay? So on Memorial Day, while everybody was partying or whatever, doing whatever you did on Memorial Day, hopefully you gave thanks for the veterans that sacrificed so much. Okay? Anyway, while you guys celebrating, this event right here happened, and it's really hard to describe what's going on there. I'll just let you guys take a peek. And it looks like this white here. Let's just kind of go through it a little bit. Okay, I want to stop right about here in this event. Apparently we have an object. It's hard to tell if this is a moon, but it appears to, from the span of this stretch right here to here, that we have some kind of bigger object deeper, further away. You can see over here that it's drawing all this hot plasma all that direction, right? I think what's going on here is this object has a reverse polarity. You can see the streak coming out, and then this appears to be the crossover effect as the magnetic field of this object. There's not really a clear shot of it, so we're just kind of looking at this flow and how it does this weird. You see these crisscrossing effects right here? This is what makes me think we have a reverse polarity object, either reverse polarity of the sun or whatever, and that's why you're seeing this weird twisting effect. The event is really this wide, but for some reason it's taken the southern one and pulled it way up here. Okay. Sorry about that. Anyways, so as we progress here, let me boom, boom, boom. And that appears to be what's happening. Now, this other little smaller object, I think is probably a moon to a bigger object back behind it. Alright, it's really, really hard to tell. There's not much data on stereo A as another cross reference for this event. But I'm going to go ahead and start this loop again and just let you look at what a strange looking event that is right there. And it appears to be a reverse polarity is all I can think of. You know, there's something else I seen here too. I forgot to point this part out. Right at the very end here, I think what's causing another part of this is this little object trailing right here. You see its bow shock right here. You see the bow shock shape on it and the round black object, the instrument reacting to it. Let's see if I can go back one more here. Oh, there's a few good shots of it. So what I'm going to do is like this. So maybe it's this trailing object here that has taken part of the twisting effect and grabbed hold of the tail. This almost reminds me of like the tail of the dragon, the last little fireball on the end of his tail. I'll pull it up just a tad bit so you can see the very top of the screen here as it exits the screen. Okay, let me pull that back down in the screen. But do you see, it could be what's causing this, it looks like it's what's causing this ripple effect, but there's something else back here, and these crisscrossing lines right here. You see these crisscrossing lines right through there? I'm going to try to get just a tad bit. You know what I should do is zoom in for you folks. Please, Lord, can I have my zoom? I've been patient all day. Thank you. been waiting all day to get to this, and just one thing after another. So hopefully you can see these crisscrossing lines just a tad bit better there of what I'm talking about. Okay, you see this round black object sticking up right here. That could possibly be a moon. I see another round black object right here too. So it looks like this is a bigger object with some moons and stuff that are trailing, and one of them has latched on to the reverse magnetic field line and has like caused this white V structure or whatever. Now this was yesterday, February 29th. I'd like to say happy birthday to my ex, even though we're not together. Anyway, just in case she watches this. Anyways, I need to pull back a little bit. So there was quite the event yesterday that I never got to report on. Okay, so we got to get that one out of the way first. Let me play this loop one more time for you guys, so you guys get a wrap your head around that event there for a minute. You see all this other activity prior to this? All right, so there's this event. Watch around here. There's other stuff. And if you look over here, you'll see all kinds of UFOs dancing around. And one of these actually captured the UFO. And where did it go? Was it this event? I do believe. Was it this one? No, I think it's today's event, actually, that I captured. Well, we'll see. All right, so let's back out of this one. So you saw yesterday's that I didn't cover. Let's go on now to today's. Thank you for being patient there. Let this load up real quick. That's good enough right there. Okay. And quite the event that we had today. I'm just going to pause it right about here. Here's where the main event starts. You can see something here going out. We're going to just kind of nice and slow through this. Here's an object right here. There appears to be something out here. There's a second object right here. It's making a dent in the instrumentation. See it now? See how dark it is now when I do this? When I do the tint? Yeah, the sun's being, for lack of a better term, molested. Okay, so let's just keep kind of plugging through this nice and slow. So you got your one object here, your secondary object up here. Here comes the third one out right here, right in the middle. So as this progresses, you can see that we have our at least three objects right here, pretty clear. You can even see the magnetic field around this object right here. Okay, so we got this one up here, this one, and this one. And just to kind of tint them out a little bit so you can see each one of them, because they're different kind of angles a tad bit. Ooh, what the heck, am I tripping? It might be another one right here. I don't know, I thought I saw something there. Anyways, you guys have trained eyes as well, and you'll just continue going out as these progress out. I like this bottom one just a tad bit darker. Right down here as it kind of gets a little harder to see. But now you can see our middle one a little clearer. Good shot of it right there. I mean, you can't miss it. It's right here. And of course, it has its magnetic field around it, right? So let me put this back into motion and just slow it down a few. And just kind of let it tick really slow by itself. Maybe. There we go. Now, do you see that event unfold? I'll just leave it there for a second. See if it captures it. Another good time right here. Alright, now you can see how these objects grab plasma, how they have a magnetic field around them. That's what latches onto the plasma, is that magnetic field. It's not the actual object, it's its magnetic field interacting with the sun's corona, which is its magnetic field. And it appears these things cause CMEs or splashes. Like when they rush up to the sun, they hit a magnetic barrier and like bounce off. But when they bounce off, they make a splash on the surface of the sun, and that's what you're seeing are these big splashes coming off. And the plasma from that splash latching onto the magnetic field, causing these CMEs. You know, we go and look at these sunspots and these filaments and everything. Well, what's causing these filaments to lift off the sun? It's not the sun just spitting them out. The solar wind is the solar wind. These objects are interacting with our sun, causing these CMEs. Okay? And you can see it. So that was the 29th and 30th. Okay, so now let's come over here to our space weather. Instrument. I'm going to zoom in on this for you folks. And zoom and pull and slide until we get it just right. Come on, you. Alright. There we go. So here's yesterday. Okay, that was the 29th right there. Here's the 30th, right here, this box. And then here's the beginning part of today. And look at this activity already started for today. As soon as we get some updated data, maybe at the end of the show, I'll go back and see if we got a few frames of this event as well. But here you can see our three little spikes, boom, 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 our three events. That almost looks like our three objects, really. Boom, 1, 2, 3. Kinda, doesn't it? Anyway, there's that. Also, something I want to point out. The other day, it was really low down here at the seafloor. We had a few minor pops that kind of kept the sun from just dropping below the seafloor. And then the moment today started, it just was on. And do you see this gradual increase up away from the seafloor? Starting from like right about where the finger is to the very end of this line, you'll see that there's a steady increase in the activity. The sun's, it's not coming to life, but it's just being interacted with so much that it's brought it up a little bit. Okay, just wanted to point that out. Okay, as soon as this barrage is over, I bet it's just going to drop. If as long as there's no other interactions, this will probably drop below the seafloor just so the sun can take a breath and just be like or something. Okay, it's the heartbeat of the sun. That's the GOES X-ray flux. That is the core of the sun spinning inside of its shell, generating its magnetic field called the corona. And the corona is where most of the heat comes from, just like our magnetic field is generated. Okay, if we had a bigger dynamo inside of our planet, we would probably start to glow and generate light. But we're not that big. Now, back to where we were. Where were we, Lord? Oh, thank you. 10% X flare here. Okay, just be on the lookout heads up a little bit there. Scroll down. We still have this sunspot 3315 now that's beta gamma delta, so we got to keep a close eye on that. All right, it's magnetic components that we're worried about. Okay, this thing. How do I put this? It looks to be. How do I put this, Lord? It's just an odd structure. Let's just leave it at that. Really quiet on the KP index. Really quiet on the. Come here, please. Bring this up, please, Lord. Pretty quiet on our auroras here. Not much absorption taking place. Still pulled way offset. And I'd like to explain that to you, but it's just like too hard to believe. So I'm not going there yet. I believe where to go. 3315. Right here. 3315 right here is the complex one, so, and it's close to this one, so we gotta be careful. It's almost in that magnetic field line from Earth, all right, in that strike zone on the side of the sun that I show you. In fact, let's go over here to the tracker and show you. Still that image from the other day. One of the biggest CMEs they've ever seen. It's like, well, have you not been paying attention? However they're rating it, I don't know, but I've seen bigger CMEs than that. This all started for me with 3X flares back in 2017. And you know what? I think maybe we'll cover some of that tonight if you guys got patience. Or if you're interested. We'll save it for the end, though. Okay, so here's our tracker. You can see our CME that's coming up. You know what? No, you can't. Let me get this even closer. No, you can. There we go. So the CME that just came off is apparently just going to glancing blow, okay? What I really want to point out here, though, is the yellow round circle is Earth. Of course, it's the sun in the center of everything. These are all different satellites, and here's Mars. Here's Mercury, okay? And it's just the inner three planets, or inner four, sorry. This doesn't go out much further than that. Okay, so Earth being here, Sun being here, note this black and white magnetic field line, all right? And I want you to note that it doesn't go straight at the front face of the Sun. It actually arcs, and it hooks up with this quadrant of the Sun that's, I'd say, you see where this 23 to 24 degrees right here? Right in that zone, just off of 24. Well, right there about 24, okay? So, when looking at the sun, whoops, that's not what I wanted. Let's just go back here. When looking at the sun, for instance, this image back here, please back out now. Okay, for instance, this image of the sun in the background right here. All right, this square is kind of hiding the strike zone. This is straight on right here, but over here is where our magnetic field line connects, right? So let me back out of this just a tad bit. Okay, so it's not straight on right here. We are a little bit south of the sun's equatorial boundary, or the sun's equator, okay? So our positioning as Earth is a little south of the equator of the sun, and we're a little bit over here, about 24 degrees. So this stuff is about to hook up magnetically if we're not careful, okay? Let's all pray. Okay, let nothing hooks up here, because if our magnetic field line hooks up with this beta gamma delta, whoops, dang it, I didn't want that. Can we back out of this, please? Oh. Anyways, what I was trying to say is if we hook up with that, here we go, with this region right here on our magnetic field line, it could cause a CME or a big flare to spark off right here, right as it crosses where we connect with the sun, our magnetic field line. Okay, so there's that. I want to come over here now to the Schumann. Okay, past day, here's today right here. This is yesterday. We had our little screeching effect. We started seeing just a tad bit of this, a little hint of this, and it gave me the hint that we're going to see some kind of screeching effect. Not very bad. Not too bad at all. You see, what I want you to see here is how strong and vibrant the green line is here at 7.83. That's our electromagnetic field, all right? But after this white pulse right here, do you see how it dims? Can you see that? Maybe there. There we go. That's a little bit better. So it dims. We have a small screech. It dims a little bit, more screeching. Okay, it gets really vibrant. There's a little bit of red in there. It dims again, and then we come out of all of it still glowing green and nice and vibrant at the current moment. Okay, even though the core is spinning in reverse inside of its shell, at least it's still producing a magnetic field for the meantime. Okay. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I really do not like reporting on that. But until I see proof otherwise, I have seen the evidence. I put it up here for you. January 11th is the apparent core reversal date where shit turned backwards, and they even shut down all the airplanes that day because magnetic field dropped until that core reversed direction and started spinning inside of its shell again. It's a little dynamo, just like an electric motor. That's what produces our magnetic field that protects us from the solar wind, CMEs, X-flares, all kinds of gamma rays, exotic particles from deep space, you name it, supernova blast, remnant blast, just say exotic particles. Let's just say it protects us from gamma rays, X-rays, exotic particles, and the only thing it can't protect us from is ourselves. Damn! If we could only get that magnetic field to protect us from ourselves, we'd be in good shape. Otherwise, we got a bunch of idiots and lunatics running around this planet. They're planning on killing us all. So you guys might want to pull head out of sand and out of ass now, and now it's time to rescue it before it's too late. Telling you, once they start pushing buttons, there's no turning back then. We still got a chance to kick these boys out of office, arrest them, arrest every single one of them. They're all been playing this game for a long time. Yeah. Anyways, I need to continue on here. So, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but core spinning backwards, but still spinning. Okay, it's spinning in its natural direction now. As two magnets rotate around each other, two torus fields, we'll say. The one wants to latch on to the core of one wants to latch on to the core of the other, and as it spins or rotates around it, the core wants to counter rotate. The original direction we were going was with the rotation of the planet, which is the wrong direction. We were super rotating this whole time, like over rotating, the core rotating the same direction the planet is, when the whole time it was supposed to be going backwards. Yeah, so we can discuss later. I've already discussed these side effects and what's going to eventually happen. Okay, so Mm, do I want to do forecasts? Earthquakes? Yeah, let's jump into these quakes here real quick. I missed a day, so I'm a little off sequence. I didn't even get to check a computer or any kind of media at all for like so many hours. It's nuts. Anyways, so I have no idea what happened today. This is obviously entering the system right here. Please pull this up. There we go. It's a 4.7 at a depth of 10 surface quake entering the system right there. What I wanted to check is this one that we just had, son of a bitch, a 4.5 at a depth of 558. That's this red one right here. Our new one, just as I'm reporting, is a 4. What did it say again? 4.5 at a depth of 558. So our first new deep quake just happened, okay? This is not remnants of anything yet. Okay, this is all old energy that had moved through the system. It shoved a 5.0 at a depth of 20 there. That's good. It shoved a 4.6 at a depth of 10 there. Caused a 4.4 depth of 12. 4.3 of 46. Nothing up here at the peninsula. Really small stuff. Let's go over here to the the one. Defuca here. Excuse me, I am not feeling very well. It has been, let's just say you guys don't want to be tortured. Uh, 3.0 to depth 10 on, let me get how close we are. This is perfect. It's right close to the focal point. Please close this out. What is going on with my computer? It's on drugs or something. It's like stoned. I click on something. It's a hall. What? Oh yeah. X out. Right. Anyways, back to where we were. We have this quake right here. Pull it up one more time. 3.0, depth of 10. Close it out. It's close enough to this area. Okay, here's our focal point. There's 3 of them really. There's one coming up this way, one going down that way, and one coming in that way. Every 3-way intersection has 3 focal points. You just need to rotate head and look at it from different angles. It's not just this one angle here. There's this angle here and this angle there. Okay. Anyways, dumped off the quake. Great. Obviously great. Real quiet along the San Andreas. Mouse fart here, 3.2 at 10. Another mouse fart, 3.2 at 4. Close out, man. Chaw. Oh, dude. Somebody, like, smoked out my computer or something. Alright, anyways, back over here, we got just some small quakes. Nothing too serious going on over here. Pull down here. This is the one I'm kind of interested in. This one over here. Let's get to this one real quick. That's a 5.5 at our fulcrum point here at South America. In Chile there. Now let's come over to this bad boy. That is a 6.2. And I was hoping they would have a depth. There is no depth on this one. That is extremely important. You cannot leave out the depth. I need to know what the depth is. So I'm just going to zoom in here real quick for us. Not real quick, but nice and gently because this computer is not having fun with this. Ooh, okay, supposedly here's our fault right here. I see, is this a rift? Going right here. There's some kind of like, it's either a rift on the ocean floor or it could be, dang. As I pull back, do you guys see, this is like a ridge right here that bubbles up from the ocean floor. It's pushed up from the flatness. Okay, it's sticking up. It's a protrusion sticking up. Now, as we come along here, this appears to be, look at these cracks and fissures right here. And up in here, this appears to be the another subfault or a fissure, an underwater crack down there. Not a new one, but maybe one that's just been there this whole time. And it's right along this fissure line. This isn't on the fault. This is on this fissure right here. I can tell. I can see this line hooking up below it and right above it. Hooking up right here and right there. Let's even go if it will let us. No, that's where we lose it. But right. Okay, here's the end of the one fissure right here. Here's the end of the other fissure right here. Okay, and it's right in between. This appears to be some kind of volcanic feature, round feature. There's a little eye here, eye type feature. See these little round features? Boom, boom. Little seamounts. And here's their quake, right? There's some kind of volcanic feature right here. I bet this is an underwater. It could be, underwater volcano becoming active, causing quite the 6.2 right here. Yeah, if this was closer to the fault and not on its own little rift, I would say that this is energy, that had traveled down from up here in our deep quake area along this fault line, right? Which it could be too, but that looked like some kind of underwater feature there as well. Okay, so not only do we have these faults, they cause little volcanoes right along the edge. So we would expect to see activity, volcanic activity on ridges that are next to faults. Okay, because one subducts underneath, pushes lava up through the perforations, and we get a little mountain range underwater with volcanic features. Is how it works. Boy, how do I say this, Lord? Gently. So don't say it gently. Say it brutally, Brian. Give him the brutal honesty. 4.9 at a depth of 46. 4.3 at a depth of 10. Sorry, I keep doing that. It's a 5.0 at a depth of 20. What's this? And a 5.1 at a depth of 11. These other ones are just 4.3. This is all energy on the focal point. Oh boy. So, just come out and say it. Like I said. Okay. I'm just going to come out and say it. I have not seen enough energy being released. I fear we are due for a big quake. Where is hard to say. But this energy that keeps coming out from the deep right here, we're not seeing enough dispersal. We're seeing underwater volcanoes already. We might see next to either this big one right here, we might see a big quake. All right, you guys, I hate to put it out there, and I pray I'm wrong, but over the last course of 2 weeks or whatever, I have just not seen enough energy being released. Something's going to pop, something's going to crack, something's going to snap. We got volcanoes going off already all over the place. I fear that we're going to have a big quake somewhere. It's going to be on the Ring of Fire, okay? Let's pray it's not like, California, the Wanda Fuca, this plate, or anything like that. Really worried about Japan. Fiji, this early part of the system. we did have that 9.1 up here by Japan, and we have that intersection and stuff. I'm worried about this little focal point. I'm worried about all these focal points, guys, because I see the activity that's coming off the sun. I know how much energy this planet's absorbing and how much it can take. I'm not seeing enough earthquakes at the surface level to scrub off what's underneath. Just not seeing it. So I pray I'm wrong. I pray we see some more mid-size, up to 6. I don't want to see anything over 6. I'll take 5.5, 5.7s. We need to scrub off some energy. Whatever quake, if it goes off in the ocean, it could cause a tsunami. And I think what I'm trying to say is watch out for a big quake and tsunami coming soon. Okay? Especially in the Pacific Rim. You people that are all on the coast and stuff, I would have your shit ready to go at a moment's notice. What happens if you're at work and the event happens or something? We could get lucky and it happens over here. That gives us about 8 hours for the wave to get here. 8 hours of prep, right? If it happens here on the Juan de Fuca, shit, you got 30 seconds to a minute until it hits the shore, all right? There's no telling around here where it might hit. There's our pinch point. Lately, we've been getting lucky. Stuff's been coming out of here, coming up to here, and reducing in strength as it drops down, okay? Now, what I would like to see is at least, away from New Zealand, out here on these fault lines. But if it happens underwater, it's not good. If it happens on land, it's not good. I'm gonna pray and work triple time. I always work triple time, but I'm gonna put in the extra time and a half and go 4.5 for this one. Alright, I'll be on my knees. I want some of you folks on your knees praying that this big quake doesn't come. But I think it's unstoppable at this point. Anyways, with that, and then all the chaos going on over in Moscow. And you guys know what I'm talking about. Probably watched the news today. Alright, well, while I go get sick to my stomach, I'm going to play this loop for you if it'll let me. Oh, and there went all the data. You punks. Alright, well, load this up. We do have a few frames here. Okay, let me pull back, get dates, times, and everything. I got it. Cigarette. My stomach is not feeling good. Too much adrenaline. You get adrenaline, it makes you kind of queasy. When it wears off, it makes your stomach kind of queasy. Alright, I want to come here. I'm trying to get this adjusted just right. I want the bar, the date and time. Alright, you can see your date and time. It's here. This is May 31st, 5 a.m. It shows. That's about current conditions. And let's start this loop. Now, there's Texas. Watch your part of the country. This is only up to June 5th. That's okay because it's not as accurate. They're not taking into consideration the energy from the sun. I gotta step aside. I'll be right back. Yeah. Yeah. Watch out these pop-up thunderstorms down here in Florida. And, watch your part of the country, your friend's part of the country, so you can call them and let them know. I'll be right there. Oh. we've been having thunderstorms here due for quite a while. I don't know about you, but we had some wild weather. And not just this country, it's been going on all around the world. All right, get back to it here. Thanks for bearing with me, folks. You guys are troopers. All right, let's get to it here. Okay, opening frame. This is current time. Well, it says 5 a.m. So within the next hour or so. So you can see this thing wrapping up, leaving the coast. As we go, this is going to be the end of convection, May 31st. So Wednesday, starting today now, this will be the end of convection right here, New Mexico, Texas border. Again, these storm chasers have been in this area for quite a while now. And up in here in Canada as well. Down in Florida, pop-ups as well. Okay, so southern tip of Florida, here along the Sierra Crest, even up in here, up into Idaho, Montana. Just watch out, folks, okay? Then we go into the night hours overnight. That's 7 in the morning, Central Time. Come on. We skipped a frame. Alright, so not much there, but here's the end of convection, June 1st. Again, down here in southern Florida, all the way up into Tampa, the panhandle of Texas, up into Montana, Wyoming, Utah even has some, up here in Canada. Everybody, it's all speckled. And this isn't taking into consideration the energy, okay? Then we go through the midnight hours. That's the morning, noontime, and end of convection June 2nd. Again here in the Panhandle. Again here in southern Florida. This time now up into Minnesota, New York. It's just all over. You see these blotches. Just because it's green, there's little yellow patches all through there, okay? So intense thunderstorms, large hail, wind, maybe not tornadoes, but maybe tornadoes as well. Okay? This model does not compensate for the energy from the sun coming in. Okay? That's overnight. You see here this huge blossom in Texas. So if this blossoms, let me show you this real quick and zoom in. 150. Okay? See this blotch right here in Texas could possibly be very, very strong going into after convection, going into the nighttime hours. Nighttime thunderstorms, nighttime hail, possible nighttime tornado, maybe a big one, okay? Especially with that red bullseye. That bullseye looking shape is just not good. We have shit up here in Maine, New Hampshire, up in Montana, look up here in Canada and stuff too, okay? So it's not just America. We're talking here in Nebraska and Kansas, this whole stripe right here, okay? And, whoops, I don't want to do that. Yeah, now I've done it. Hang on, let's just X out of it. Let me X out of this board. There it is. Okay. Excellent. So, back to where we're. This is down in Cuba. We're not too worried about that right now. But there's the end of convection, June, or that's the overnight hours, June 2nd, going into the 3rd, noontime, and end of convection again here, June 3rd. All speckled right here around this region, DC area. Okay, there's still all this pop-up thunderstorm activity up in here, up in Canada. Not as intense this day. Here we go, June 4th, noontime. Ended convection June 4th. Speckled again, all down here in Oklahoma, Texas, reaching back up into here, okay. Overnight, all kinds of speckled all over. It looks like Texas has the chicken pox, okay, with yellow little blisters, all right. That's what that looked like. This is going to be the end of convection June 5th. More pop-ups along the Sierra, out here in Nevada, all this reaching down in. Over here in Georgia, possible Florida, southern Texas. This is just getting hard to keep up with. All right, so that's overnight. That's 5 a.m. noontime, and oh, come on, give me the end of convection June 6th right there, and that's all the data we have, really. Again, really strong low here right off the coast, pumping stuff off the Atlantic back inland, causing thunderstorms here right around the D.C. area, New York City. Those guys are under the gun, and we know why. Northern California up here, speckles all through this stuff, okay? So the next few days is just going to be on. It's on now. So let's just play this loop again. You see the convection boil up and die, boil up and die, boil up and die, boil up and die. So every day when the sun comes up, it's producing thunderheads and large hail, flash flooding, torrential downpours, lightning, intense lightning. We're seeing nor'easter straight line type winds. We're seeing tornadoes. Okay? Is what we're seeing is tornadoes, folks. And it's just going to continue to keep going and going and going. So keep praying and praying and praying and praying. Okay? Let's get out of here and come over here now to the null school. Please, Lord, the null school that I had pulled up already. Just a sec, folks. Lord, please. Thank you. Oh, I see what happened. Let me refresh real quick. It went Brian Knight on us. There it is. Okay. Not much has changed with this typhoon. It is still just hovering off the coast of Taiwan. You see how the island is actually splitting the winds. The winds are carving this shadow type effect behind that are, downwind from it. This hurricane is just right offshore. This is in the outer bands, okay? Let's pray this thing keeps traveling like northward, like up this way, like it's projected to, and doesn't move towards the island of Taiwan. All right. Prayers have been working, but look how intense this is getting. All right. This is a serious issue right here, and let's just pray that it does not hit Taiwan. All right. I mean, it is already giving Taiwan hell, but it could be a lot worse. What I want to do is try to zoom back out a little bit and get this. Oh no, we're zoomed properly. What I want is jump forward in time. There's 8 hours forward. Did you see it shift? Here's another 8 hours. Did you see it traveling easterly? Let's take it another 8-hour jump and look at that. It moves away from the island. Here's Taiwan now. Okay, here's the island. It's still creating this shadow effect, but the eye actually, instead of coming on shore and hitting it, is actually moving out and away. So good job on the prayers, you guys. Just pray that this is the result. Okay, Just because this instrument says this does not make it so. All right. So we still have a potentially dangerous situation. You saw the path that it can take. Let's keep it. Let's keep it on that path or something. Keep it away from, at least from Taiwan. It can double back and go and hit China if it wants to, because they're playing games with me, and I'm not too happy with it. They should stop playing games with me right now. Everybody should take heed, okay? Now, I don't even feel like reporting on here. Let's just do this anyway. Let's take us up to the top of the planet and look at our polar vortex. How do I even say this, Lord? You see how speckled and pockmarked and stuff it is, right? Okay. You see this general flow. Let me pull back just a tad bit there. All right, I want you to see our general flow. And it's creeping through all this stuff. It's pretty broad, you know, from here to here, even from here to here, from here to here. This whole rotation is pretty broad and thick, okay? Here's the top of the planet right here. We still have winds crossing this area. Okay, all these tight vortexes, you see this? That's these objects that position themselves over the northern hemisphere, okay? As well as the direction of this rotation. That's the part I just really don't want to have to tell you this, but our polar vortex is going backwards, all right? What you're seeing is what's taking place in the magma now underneath. It's roiling, it's causing our polar vortex, the air column up above the Earth, to start to rotate in the opposite direction now. Okay, this is one of the first side effects of our backward spinning core. Okay, this is a side effect of it. And these are these objects, or these are little magnetic fields, because there's magma roiling and spinning around. This is like, imagine everything was flowing in one direction like this down here, okay? Imagine all the magma underneath is flowing in one direction, and then all of a sudden you hit the brakes and shove it this way. Well, it's still flowing, but then it's going to get disrupted and start to get turbulent, okay? What the heck? Look at this vortex going on down here because of this. Here is your southern polar vortex. See how well organized, how broad, how strong these colors are? Okay, that's intensity of the winds up there. Okay, now as we pull down, look how it has put a dent, a flat spot. See this flat spot right here in our vortex when we pull down? See that straight line right there? Everything else going around a circle, but we have this straight line. As we pull this back down, it's because it has created this vortex crossing that blue barrier. See the blue barrier up here? Drops down. Here's the central vortex right here. It's pulled the blue barrier way down here, and it's caused a vortex. This is up in the upper atmospheres. Yeah, warning, good. Please. And then something going on here. You see how the winds have come off of South America and rotated. See this, inflow jet right here. This is what we look for, like in tornadoes. Also, when I'm looking at these flow asymmetries coming off the sun, as well as for the storms, I always look for like the inflow. All right, and you see this little inflow jet feeding into. See it feeding into this intense part right here. And what it's done is it's sucking stuff off of the mid latitude stream into this. It's taking that blue barrier, like I said. Look how this one's warped it, pulled it way down here, and now that it's down here, it's pulling shit into it. Look at this vortex right here. It's that's okay. It's below this blue boundary, but that blue boundary is getting weak. See, here's another breach in it right here. See right there. So our seasons are shifting, and so is our polar vortexes. Okay, let me do one other thing. Should I do fires? Oh, okay, fires it is then. Let's get that out the way. Okay, you're coming over here to China. You can see all the fire activity that's going on here. Get the glare out of the picture there. Okay, so there's the fire activity in that region. I want you to look down here at this island as well as the island of Java. Pull this over. Okay, you see all our fires and hot spots. Okay. This little island right here, it's got a bunch of them. See them? And then look at northern Australia filling in here. Alright, so there's Australia. Let's come over here to America. You see the auroras up here in Canada? Just a little bit before we... Okay? Pretty light. Alright, there's America. Let's the hot spots fill in. Let's come over here to the East Coast. Alright. Let's get this a little darker. Right about there. Sorry. Trying to get this just right for you guys. Alright, so you can see these scattered hot spots all around this region. Okay, even down here in Texas. Got them out here in the water. Got them all over Mexico. I pull up Mexico in that dark region right there. There you go. See, look at Mexico's fires here. Get this glare out of there just a tad bit more. There we go. So quite the fires, hot spots that we got going on here. Okay, come over here to Africa. You see, it's not as bad as it was, but look at this region. Here's Europe. Okay. Alright. Any other places you want to request real quick before I change to the chemicals? I think we covered everything. Look at Madagascar here. Not many people live there, but it's got its own little issues. See that? Okay, now we're going to change out of the fires. I want to go back to the air. No fires. Chemicals. And the SO2. Actually, the fire stayed on there, but that's okay. Let's take the wind off of there, though. Okay. So, the burgundy is the SO2. Okay. And then when I release this, you'll see the hot spots fill in. So, a lot of sulfur dioxide coming out of China. Okay. Here's Java, the purple island of Java. Okay, it's got some hot spots right here, especially at the mouth of the canal right here, or this channel in between the two islands. Hot spots right there. Volcano Mariapi going off right there. Here's a Nat Krakatau is right in that zone. Let me pull this up so you guys can see. All right, here's our canal in between Java. There we go. Now you guys can see a little better. So here's our canal. You can see Mariapi spewing a bunch of sulfur dioxide. It's coming out all around this area right here, okay? I'm really worried about a Nat Krakatau going off. So let's pray that that sucker doesn't go off. We got pretty good fires and a hot or a little spot coming out of Australia there. Okay, I'm gonna pull back a little bit. You see China is a mess. What they better start cooperating like as of yesterday. Retroactively start cooperating because they're going to need our help here soon when all this lava comes up from the ground. Causes severe weather too. The heat from the lava underground causes thunderstorms over the area. Okay, so you're seeing wild weather not only from the sulfur being emitted, but as well as the heat and the magnetic fields that come along with that. Okay, so if they want mercy, they can have, but gotta ask for it and make amends. Let's come over to America. Quite the mess we have here. Look at these little patches of that have disappeared right here. This is all burgundy. We've had these little patches where it stops doing it for a while. Along the Appalachians right here, it appears to be. Maybe they're doing patchwork underneath the honeycomb network along here. Anyways, you can see pretty much from this line over, the eastern half of the country's bleeding out, right? Here, I'll put this cross right there so you can see what I'm talking about. There we go. So, you can see how intense it is over on this side. We got our little patches here where it stopped. Got a few little spots over on this side. Okay, let's go into the Bay Area because lots of people here in California, and this is a big time area. So lots of pressure here. We got a lot of SO2 coming out of here, and we got some hot spots here in this area. You see these little dots here? Pull them down. Oh, there's a few there. Okay, here's Tahoe. Right here, I'm circling it. Here's the tip of the delta and the bay right here. So Sacramento right in the middle here. This is all filling in now. This Central Valley, look, this is the Central Valley. Here's foothills. The crest of the Sierras right here where Tahoe is, right? Some mountains over here, but look at how the valley now is filling in with sulfur dioxide. A little hot spot going on down here as well. So that's America, folks. And look up here in Canada where our fires are. These fires aren't started by man. You know, this is, you see how dark purple this SO2 is? There's lava right at the surface now. It's squeezing out so much SO2, it's dark purple. You see all these fires have erupted right around these spots, right? Those fires are induced by lava, heat, whatever, coming up from down below. Okay? It's not the direct energy weapons. It's not terrorism. It's not all these other funny-ass theories. Use your common sense, folks. Okay? That's what's really going on. Something else I want to do while we're here, I want to come over to SO4 as well. Just going to do SO4 real quick. This one makes me sick. Looking at this. This is terrible. This is SO4. This is another compound of sulfur quad oxide. Okay, it's got 4 oxygen atoms. The thing about this compound is it bonds with water. So SO4 combines with H2O to make a compound called H2OSO4. Or H2SO4, sorry. H2SO4, better known as sulfuric acid. It's going to turn the air acidic, sulfuric, the water acidic, sulfuric. It's most concentrated in white around the northern hemisphere. Let's go below the equator, and you'll see it's not as white, but this green is still that gas. There's a little concentration of white along the coast, but you see how it gets caught up in these storms and gets, circumnavigates the globe. Okay, the globe, the globe, the sphere, not the flat Earth, like the flat brain. Oh my God. They've never flown around the world. They've never flown from this country to, say, across the equator down to this part. You cannot fly straight on a flat map like that. It's obviously a globe. And we don't fly in a straight line. If you were to flatten that out on a map, that's a curve. On a globe, you actually take an arc, and we all fly in an arc because when you flatten it out, it's an actual straight line. Why would we be doing that for 70 some odd years? Pilots be doing that if the Earth was flat. It's not. It's a globe. Go stand on top of a mountain. Go to a lake and try to see the shoreline on the other side. You can't because it's the curvature of the Earth. Here you can see is our not missing gas, but this is like the one spot on the planet that doesn't have a bunch of sulfur dioxide, quad oxide, but our northern pole sure does, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, enough of that crap. Let's get rid of this instrument entirely. Come on over to... We just did that one. Oh, I think it's time for the gem. Yeah, I do believe we covered everything. Got earthquakes, did the forecast, got the globe, yeah, everything looking good. So yeah, let's move on to tonight's spiritual part and the gem. So for those of you who were here for the solar report, you may leave now. And if you want, you can stay. But this is for the spiritual people now. Okay. We've been waiting for this part probably. Let's see. First of all, let's go back and revisit just real quick here our opening, if we can. These flash flooding events, okay? For like the last 3 years now, it seems, every day we are getting... Really, it's not going to load up? Come on. Alright, that's fine. Every day it seems we're getting some kind of video in of cars washing down the street, being washed away by all kinds of stuff. Well, not only are we having that, but there's also crazy UFO activity. And some of these ships I recognize that are being captured. So, let's just get to this. This is going to be Sao Paulo, Brazil, if it'll play. What are we missing here? Okay. Let's you just go back a tad bit more. Alright, go full screen. Alright, so please, full screen. Okay, this thing is... Please, Lord, all I did was click on full screen. Thank you. Alright, you can see this pyramid, diamond-shaped, arrow-shaped type object. This is Sao Paulo, Brazil. This is just recently. Okay. So we got entities from across the universe showing up see the big show. Okay? They know what's going on. They know what's going down. They're all being summoned here to witness well, the big show. All right, that's some pretty good crystal clear footage right there. Yeah, here I zoomed back into it. Alright, so keep your eyes peeled to the skies. This stuff's hanging out in your skies while you're driving around, looking at your cell phone. You don't even know this was hanging out next to the building, right? So, that also takes me to, can we get some of this one? Please, Lord, I spent all night trying to find this gem. This is old footage, but it's very important footage if we can get it to play. Come on, Lord. Play this sucker. Alright, maybe I'll try to hook up the sound and everything while we're waiting. Why is this not playing? I worked so hard to get this one. So, play it. Is something else playing? That's what it is. Now let me X out of this one thing here so we can get some audio. There we go. Alright, try. Alright, so.
It's over there.
Did you notice where it was hanging out? Oops, let's get this shot right here. Right about there. We're sticking out of the building. Oops. I guess that's it right there. You can see it partially sticking out. Let's get it.
It's over there.
Oops. Let's catch it before she.
It's over there.
It's over where? There we go. There's a shot of it sticking out. Alright. Doesn't that kind of look like what's going on in Sao Paulo, Brazil? Okay. Anybody recognize that that's right about the spot where the planes hit too? These things were checking this out. This was in 2000, okay? Down here, this event happened in 2000, right before our event. Here, let me get it nice and big for you guys to get it. Let's see if we can get it right there. Alright, so in case you guys didn't know, that happened previous to 9/11. Right about the same spot where the incident went down. So I bet you didn't know that. And then we got this thing showing up right here next to these skyscrapers. What was this other one I wanted to show you from this gentleman's this channel? All these entities are showing up because they know God's here. They're here for the show. They know it's about to go down. And where was this? This one right here is the one that's I'm a little concerned about. Come over to this guy's channel, Dr. Mysterio. Oh, yeah. He does a good job of bringing you stuff. Now, this object, I've seen this before. I know what race this is. And that's not good news. Okay? I know who this is right here. This is not good. Okay? This race is not good. Okay? I don't like seeing this object around. Alright? Fair warning, folks. You're going to see some crazy shit in your skies here real soon. Especially now that this race is here. Okay? I'm not too happy about it. I don't know what the people in charge are doing about it. They better fucking pull their head out of their ass and help me, or they're going to be in some deep doo-doo. They're already in deep doo-doo, but it could lessen the blow. Okay? Come over to this channel. Give this guy a like, subscribe, ring his bell, whatever. Docu Mysterio. Some stuff is not the best at capturing, everything that's real, but you guys have eyes of discernment now. You can come look and discern for yourself. And now it's jammed up here. Oh, thanks, Google. Can we pull this back down now, Google? Thank you. Alright, so I don't like seeing this object here. Alright. If you guys see any of these things in the sky captured on video, pray, okay? Okay, so just a lot of UFO activity going on. You want to see what's going on, come over to here. You got Security 10 and third phase of Moon. Okay, this guy's on it a lot. The latest videos, he puts them up. Same with Dr. Geotech that does the volcanoes. Go subscribe to him as well. Okay. Now, before we close out here, I'm going to cover something else real quick here. So, going back to the spiritual realm, we're going to go over here to my channel, and I want to pull up something for you guys. First, let's just start. Okay, wake up call. I want you guys, this is your wake up call. Alright, this was my wake up call. This is,
Welcome back, folks. First off, I'd like to say, here's our
okay, here's Nibiru and Nemesis. Alright, I want you to note the date down here. This is September 10th of 2017. This is the day my life went from normal average man to violently turned upside down. As I don't know how to put this, but just say it that way, I guess. And I want you guys also to take note of this date, because This is 13 days before the Revelation 12 star alignment. That star alignment happened on September 23rd of 2017. 13 days before that star alignment, it says the dragon appeared before the woman. This is the dragon. It appeared 13 days before the woman who was draped in the sun with the moon at her feet and a crown of 12 stars, the star alignment. This is the dragon that was foretold in the Bible that everyone missed. Everybody was looking at the star alignment, looking for the woman, and when you read the Revelation, it makes it sound like the dragon came after the star alignment, but you didn't interpret it right. If you read it correctly, it says the dragon appeared in front of or before the woman to devour the child. This is the dragon of Revelation 12. Okay, when this thing showed up here, I'll even give you the audio. We'll play a quick excerpt from this. All right, this is not a joke. This is, God showed me this, and ever since, all kinds of paranormal activity started happening to me in my life.
Here. This looks like Nibiru. It's got a wing coming off on this side and a wing coming off on that side. And that's not all, because behind that is this big object right here. This is what's causing our flares. Here's a conduit of plasma that is sucking off of our sun, going into this planet. Here's a damage ring or an impact zone on this planet right here. You can see Nibiru sticking out in front of it here. Run this backwards. You can see it goes backwards. There's the second flare. Back behind the sun, comes back out. There's the first flare.
All three of those flares were X flares, okay? Like an X10, an X9, and the third one was like a X7.8, or I forget, but...
So the mass of that object is sucking material off of our sun, causing these solar flares. Boom, right there. Goes back behind the sun. Comes back out. Second flare. And third flare.
Okay, hopefully you can see Nemesis here. This big round object with this conduit of plasma, this like cone-shaped conduit of plasma. Let's just zoom in a little bit further. Okay, here you can actually physically see it. Alright, it's not just a black object with some plasma. This is our bigger object. Here's Nibiru, the little moon. Okay, right here, this darker circle is the plasma slamming into the surface and spreading out in a damage ring or an impact zone. Okay. So, you're looking at the dragon of Revelation 12, Nemesis and Nibiru. This appears to be our burned out dwarf, or our burned out binary twin. And it's not a dwarf, it's bigger than our sun, okay? This is the core, the burned out core. The core of the star was bigger than our sun. So imagine how big this sun must have been. And it's energy depleted, super depleted. Imagine if you took a battery and stripped it down to zero and the battery's totally dead, and then you took some more energy out of it and you changed the copper wire inside to a different phase, and now it is super depleted of protons and electrons, and it'll reach out and latch on to anything that has protons, electrons, any kind of electricity, and will suck it dry like a vampire, trying to restart and get back to normal phase of copper wire type thing. Okay, so you're looking at the date down here. Can you see this date? Okay, I already went over the date. It's September 10th of 2017. I cannot reiterate how important this date aligns with the prophecy. It is the prophecy. God showed me this. I did not turn on my computer. I was gone all day. I come home. My computer's on with this image. I didn't click on this. I didn't go research this. This image was sitting on my computer when I got home. And I know exactly why. God's showing me this. He commanded me to report on this stuff. I couldn't do it for 4 days. I struggled with what the hell am I gonna, how the hell do I tell people about this? I command you. I'm like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. So I did it. It took me a while to figure out how to do this because I'm not a YouTuber. I mean, I was doing simple little videos of my lizards in my yard. Then this happens to me, and my life just violently turns upside down. I got. Let's just go to it. Back to the videos here, please. So, right after that, oh great, yeah, call 911. You're gonna need an ambulance when we're done with this one. Okay, now back to where we were here. So I'll bring you over here to this video here of Mary and the Angels in Revelation 12. Okay. Now, let's just kind of pause it right here. It's not the best shot right now because we're doing a video off of the computer screen of a video of a computer screen. So, you can come over here. It's called Mary. Here, let's get the title in there. Mary, Angels in Revelation 12. Maybe I'll put the link in the description. This is going to be our image right here for the reading tonight. Just real quick, this is Mary's head right here. You know what? Maybe we'll play this quick video. If you haven't seen this yet, you guys want to see this real quick, or should I just do the reading? No, let's just play it real quick. If it'll play. Give me all three at once. Howdy folks, welcome back. So I've been going through some of the old photos and running them through the filter, and this was one of the first ones that I had ever captured. And what's going on here is I'm here on my knees. I'm crying and screaming and praying, all three at once. I was in some extreme anguish. A paranormal traumatic event happened to me, something so unbelievable you guys wouldn't believe it, so if I told you, so I'm going to show you instead. So in this image here, I'm sitting here praying, and Mary's head appears right next to my head, and we're going to zoom in on this. You can't go in too tight on it, but she's looking down at my head this way. Let's see, there's pretty good. And you can make out her eye and her nose coming down, her shawl coming over, and it's in shadow right here. This is a shadow of the inside of her shawl going over her head like this. Here's her eye, her nose, her other eye would be on the other side there. Okay. You can't go in too tight on it. And then also is this white ball with an eye in it, this white orb with an eye in it. Okay, and that's not all, because over here in this corner up here is an angel, the silhouette of an angel with his wings spread, with his back to us, standing in a shaft of light. Here's his head, there's a glow over the head, the wings are extended, and there's a feather coming off. The last feather coming off is crossing over these brown roof tiles in the background here, and you can make out there's an angel right here, and you can even see his head right here. I'm going a little bit tighter. So there's the angel with his back to us and his wings spread. Yeah, you can see a lot better with the filter. Before it was really faint and it was hard to see.
Same with this. This came out a little bit better here. Yeah, there's Mary looking down at my head because I was in anguish. I mean, what happened to me was just so disturbing. I can't even describe it. I was in crying, screaming, and praying, an experience I'd never felt before. All three of them at the same time. It was just, and you can, and screaming and praying. All.
Okay, so we're going to leave it with this image right there. Okay. You guys see what's going on in there? Were you able to see that? Hopefully you were. Because this was on October 5th of 2017. That was 12 days after the Revelation 12 star alignment. Mary and angels and God started showing up in my garage. Okay. Something I need to tell you about this image right here. This is captured on my security camera. Okay, this is admissible as evidence in a court of law. Alright? I'll try to get the Mary. Well, just kind of get the whole thing. One picture there so you can see Mary's head slightly, the angel, and the God eye. Okay? Usually when God and Mary and an angel are around, Jesus is too. So we got an angel, we got Mary, we got God, but where's Jesus? Well, he's in this picture if you know what to look for. Okay. Let's just go in a little bit better. Once I was in some on it. Okay. Now, it's not a Catholic thing at all. Mary is the mother of Jesus. She's the mother of God. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see her there. Alright. You saw the angel. This is an anointing ceremony, okay? From after finding Nemesis in Nibiru and having paranormal attacks and doing the first video and warning the world of what was happening, this started happening to me. And later on, looking back, it was an anointing ceremony. Okay? Let's just get the whole picture in one thing, right? Right there. Alright. Well, there's a better shot. Trying to get the whole picture in one. That's about the best shot right there. So we'll do our reading to this. You can see the angel. You can see the God eye. You can see Mary. And if you're smart, you can see Jesus. Okay? Now, let me pull out my notes and get my light going here, and we'll close out with some of my notes, alright? Let me get a sip here. I've been through a lot in my life, okay? I've been through jails, prisons, institutions, all kinds of craziness, alright? This is all from lessons that I've learned throughout life, throughout all the battles that I've been through, okay? So do not fear, for I am with you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Let these words unfold you like a warm blanket, sheltering you from the coldness of fear and discouragement. When trouble seems to be stalking you, grip my hand tightly and stay in communication with me. You can trust and not be afraid, for I am your strength and song. My powerful presence is with you always. You face nothing alone. Moreover, I have promised to strengthen and help you. My strong hand supports you in both good times and bad. When things are going well in your life, you may not be attentive to my sustaining presence, But when you are walking through the valley of the shadow of death, you become keenly aware of your neediness. During these difficult times, holding on to me keeps you standing and able to put one foot in front of the other. As you endure this adversity patiently, in trusting dependence upon me, I bless you with abundant joy in my presence. That's it for tonight, folks. I love you all. God bless you all. These are real images, folks. Okay? This is really happening. This is security camera footage. It's admissible as evidence in a court of law. Okay? You're looking at God, Mary, and Jesus right there. I love you all. God bless you all. And until my next video, bye. I'll be back. I am back. And you're blessed.